Hello and welcome to Crimes of the Heart Tarot. I'm Miss Vicki, and I'm going to use the tarot to see if we can gain more insight into unsolved mysteries, deaths, and disappearances. Let's get started. Welcome to Crimes of the Heart Tarot. Today I want to do a reading about the missing 15-year-old Tennessee boy, Sebastian ROGERS. Now he's been on my mind. He was living with his mother and his stepdad, Chris, in Henderson, Tennessee. Now, I don't know if he was legally, if Chris Proudfoot is his, they say stepdad, I don't know if he was legally his stepdad, but anyway, he was living with his mother and his stepdad, Chris, in Henderson, Tennessee. Now, his mother called the police the morning of February 26th, that was 2024. This is April 5th, 2024, so he's been missing over a month now. She's claimed, I'm going to say claimed because this is her story, she told the police that they had gone to eat the night before at a restaurant, and there was video of her and her son, Sebastian, leaving a restaurant. I think it was around 6:30. She then said they went home. She did a few things. He did a few things. She told him to go to bed at 9, which is kind of early for a 15-year-old, but that's what she said. And he went into his room. She heard a thump about an hour later. Didn't investigate or anything, but oh, God. Didn't hear anything else apparently. Went in the morning of the 26th to wake him up for school, and the room was empty. She said the only thing she saw missing was possibly a flashlight. Now, there have been searches everywhere, all around the area, and they found a trace of him. They thought they found his glasses, but that's probably someone else's glasses. They haven't been proved to be his glasses. There had been a lot of problems with Sebastian and his relationship with his mother and stepdad. CPS had been called several times. He was autistic, difficult to get along with sometimes, forgetful of routines if they didn't happen just so, things like that. Now, he was a good kid. He was a sweet-looking kid, the pictures I saw of him. Now, I did a meditation. I usually do try to meditate before I do the tarot readings. And I got some really strong pictures in my head, two pictures. Now, I'm not going to go into those yet. I want to do a reading on the energy around the stepdad Chris that night. We're going to do it that Sunday, and his mother that Sunday. That would have been February, I guess, 25th. Before I go into what pictures I got in my head and what I did about them. So I'm going to use a Mystic Tarot. It's a large deck. It has a lot of visuals on it. And I want to start out with asking the cards about the energy around Sebastian's mother to begin with. I want to look at his mother Sunday night after they came home from the restaurant. I want to start there. Pull a few cards, see what I can get from them, from the visuals. Now, they'd had a lot of problems, his mother, because autistic people, and they're all different, they don't look at the world like we do, like average people do. I say we do. I don't know if I look at the world like anybody either. Anyway, they have their own way of dealing with things, and it's all different. Apparently he was on medication too. I don't know what that would be for. All right, what was his mother's energy. What can the cards tell me about what was going on when they came back from the restaurant? She apparently, according to what she has told the police, she was the last person to see him. Now, I don't know where Chris Proudfoot was that Sunday. I done a little bit of research online, but haven't seen anything about it. I did see an interview he did. All right. First card, Page of Pentacles. All right, there he is. There he is. The Page of Pentacles is about gifts. It's also somebody studying things. That's interesting. There's a little, it looks like a little record player, one of those recorders they used to use that recorded sounds in wax. I don't know what they're called. There he is. He's there. He's recorded. I wonder if he recorded something. Wheel of Fortune upright. I think all these cards are going to be upright. I'm not sure. We'll see how they come out. All right, the Wheel of Fortune. This is a timing card. It's also what goes around comes around. Seven of Swords. Okay, the Seven of Swords. Wow, that's interesting. Seven of Swords is about someone who is basically a deceiver, taking advantage of someone. Now this shows a woman, this is really interesting, a woman with a chalkboard. We're talking about Sebastian's mother, pretty much the night before he was, let's say the night of the disappearance, because we don't know when exactly. The timing is from the time he left the restaurant to the time he apparently was not in his room. Knight of Cups. All right, this can be substance abuse. This can be someone offering gifts. This is cups are love, cups are passion. Cups can also be, Knights can also be active. This is somebody kind of out of control sometimes. Now, these are upright. The last card we have for his mother is the Ace of Swords. Now, the Ace of Swords, I hope I'm showing these right. I have a hard time getting the camera focused like I want. I haven't figured out how to do it above without causing a problem, so I'm kind of doing it at an angle. Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords is truth. Ace of Swords is also, can mean, wow, I don't want to say this, doing away with something. That with the Knight of Cups is interesting. I wonder if she had him take his medicine. I'm also almost getting a argument about taking his medicine and going to bed. 9 o'clock seems early to me. All I see is, this is interesting, the Page of Pentacles. Now this is a young boy. I believe this is Sebastian. He's recording things. I wonder if he's been making notes about what's been going on with him, or I don't know if he had access to a camera or a recorder. I'm kind of getting that he was recording things. Now, autistic people, all being different, look at the world differently. Something strange about that. I see the Wheel of Fortune turning. The card that really catches my eye is the Seven of Swords, talking about Chris's mother. This is a deceptive woman taking advantage of someone. And I see her marking off things, almost like keeping track of what he did wrong. I'm going to tell your father. Da 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 da. Keeping track. You didn't do this. You didn't do that. It's also someone being blind to the truth. This is taking advantage of someone. She manipulated him. She manipulated Sebastian somehow. I get also that she was a rather petty person. I don't know why I'm picking that up, but from this card comes across really strong. Well, I'm going to tell your father, I'm keeping score. You didn't do this, you didn't do that. Therefore, you don't get to do this, you don't get to do that. I get cruelty here. Cruelty to him. They didn't deal with him very well is what I'm getting, but that kind of comes with the territory. Now the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups is, it can mean someone bringing something for someone to drink. This person is holding a cup. I wonder if she forced him to take medicine. I don't know what he would take. Attention deficit medicine. I don't know what he was prescribed. I think she forced him to take something to drink. Sleeping, whatever. She was tired of him thumping around in the room. She was tired of him making noise, tired of him not wanting to go to sleep. She wasn't dealing with him very well. Now, this is all alleged. This is just for entertainment purposes only, and my opinion of what the cards are telling me. Also, the Wheel of Fortune. This is a timing. This can be a timing card. What she said about him being discovered missing in his room at around 6 is not true. I get that that's not true. She manipulated that. She manipulated him. I also feel like he injured himself somehow. I don't see that in the cards. I don't see violence as much as pressuring him. This is her right here. This is his mother, the Seven of Swords. Vindictive, petty. She had him take something. Medicine. I don't know what his medicine would have been, his prescription. And it didn't turn out well. But I don't think she cared. She just wanted him in his room quiet. The Ace of Swords can also mean the beginning of truth. I don't believe the truth has been told in his disappearance. I just don't believe that. It's too strange that he would poof, go up in smoke. I don't know where Chris was either, the father. The Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords. This is truth. This is the start of... There's swords in this card too. This is almost like she had just had it with him. Alright, this is her energy. So that night, when they got back from the restaurant, what I'm getting is she was upset with him, tired of him. I almost feel like she called him a little snoop. You're a little snoop. What are you doing? What are you looking at? What are you getting into? How dare you do this? How dare you do that? Keeping records. Timing is wrong on this. This isn't how it happened. They did go to the restaurant. They came home, and that's when this happened. All right, let me pull a few more cards, and then we'll go on to the stepfather. What does this Ace of Swords really mean here? Swords are thoughts. I think she gave him something to drink or to take, and I think it didn't end right. And I think she called her husband. I don't think he was there. Where the heck was he? I don't know. Just want to pull a few more cards, just a couple more on her. There's a lot to go in there. This could be a long reading, but I've been putting off doing this. I have trouble dealing with these missing children. Pull 2 more cards. All right, there we have a reversal. All right, the next one on the mother, we have the 9 of Pentacles. Wow, this is really interesting. She really wanted to be rid of him. Now, his real father mentioned he was trying to cut a deal with the father and with them to have Sebastian full time. But we're talking about child support here. She wanted to be single, like a single woman. She was married. I don't want to go into the marriage. We're not talking about that. But she wanted to be rid of him. I see her drinking, but she wanted the money. She wanted the child support. Then we have the King of Wands in reverse. Wow, the King of Wands in reverse is a very, very A very evil man. Can be cruel, can lose his temper. She called, if Chris wasn't there that night, where was he? I don't know. She called him. She texted him and said, I can't handle this anymore. Or something was going on. He came home. That's what I'm getting. Wands or anger. King of Wands reverse is violent, physically violent. Physically violent. Something, either there was an argument over the medicine or she forced him to take something. What I'm getting from these cards, oh, this is really awful. This King of Wands, I'm getting really, really sadness with little Sebastian. I believe he was abused. This is all alleged. Mother wanted to be rid of him. The father was abusive. It wasn't his child. And he was a problem. And I don't mean it in a negative way. He recorded things. He said, I'm going to tell my father about this. I'm going to tell the teachers about this. And there was lots of anger. This is Chris. I think she called him that night, or texted him, or he called her or something, and she said, come home, I can't deal with this. All right. Let's pull a few cards for the stepfather. I'm getting really bad feelings about this. I'm hesitant to do readings for younger children and missing people because no matter how much protection I put around myself, I still seem to pick up on their feelings. And it's difficult. Anyway, let's keep going. This isn't about me. This is about Sebastian. All right, Chris came home that night. I truly believe that. He was angry. I don't know if Sebastian had taken his medication or not. All right, the next cards are going to be for Chris. Now, these are coming up in reverse. All right. What happened when Chris came home that night? The Ten of Cups. Ten of Cups is a happy family. Love, love, love. Lots of love. In reverse, it's nightmare family. Arguing. I get drinking. I don't know if Chris or his wife, Sebastian's mother, drank. Wherever Chris had been, when he came home, he was really angry. I get that he'd been with his family. The Ten of Cups is usually, look at all these little people in the pockets. He had family. He had a big family from what I'm getting. I don't know if he was out drinking with someone or what. Anyway, he came home. She called him or texted him and said, he's out of control. You got to do something. I can't take it anymore. Then we get the Knight of Pentacles. Why, look at that. This is a slow-moving knight upright. It's also money. There's money involved in this. In reverse, this is fast. Whatever happened was quick. Chris came home. He was on his motorcycle. I'm not saying it literally. He was on a motorcycle. He was full of fire. What did he do now? Where is he? He's in his room. He went in, full of anger. What did you call me for? He was with his family, I'm getting. Family. Somebody, he might have been drinking, out drinking, whatever. He was with family. I see family. And then we have the Three of Pentacles. All right, the Three of Pentacles upright is about working with people, working with someone for the greater good, doing something positive, working, doing this. In reverse, this is working, but it's working for the wrong reasons. This is heavy. All right. Two of Wands, planning. This is planning, this is thinking. In reverse, this is not planning, being stopped, being coming to your senses. I almost get that Chris, and this is all alleged, my opinion of the cards for actually just for fun. This is not fun, but that's what you say. For entertainment. This is entertainment, I guess. All right. Somebody was stopped in their tracks. All right, a few more cards. I'm getting stressed. Six of Pentacles. All right, Six of Pentacles. This shows a lot of people. Some people getting money, some people not getting money. A lot of this was about money. They were getting child support. Money's also help. I believe that Chris was there that night. There's something about family, speeding over, plans not going well. I don't see Sebastian anymore. A few more cards on Chris. And this is all alleged. Let's mix these up a little better. I can't shuffle them, they're too big. Alright, I'll shuffle them this way. Alright, I'm getting that, well, I'm getting a lot of negativity. He did go to the restaurant, he came home. I think she forced him to take his medicine, or there was an argument about that. I don't know what medicine. She said, called it the medicine. Take your medicine, you have to take your medicine. No, I'm not going to do it. He threatened to expose them too. Expose their abuse. I feel like he was abused. She called Chris, wherever he was with family. And he came roaring over. Not so especially on a motorcycle, but he came tearing back to the house. On fire, on fire. Where is that little blankety blank? What's he done now? And she filled it in. I believe when he came back to the house, he was alone, but he was with family. Family is big in this reading. Not working. It wasn't working. You're not doing what you have to do. Wands. The Pentacles. This is so unfair. Let him go back to his father. I almost see the conversation here. Let's send him back to his father. No, we won't get the money. We won't have the child support. All right, Sebastian. What happened to you when your stepfather came back? What happened to you? Lots of anger. They kept him because of the money. They were keeping him because of the child support from Chris's real father. Mother didn't want to keep him, but she didn't want to give up the money. Okay, let's shuffle these a little more. I might switch to the Horror Tarot. I think I will, actually. Alright, we're going to use the Horror Tarot next. This is what we need to know. We need to know what happened when Chris came home. And I believe he did. I believe she texted him or called him, or however you communicate. She communicated with him, complaining, he did this, he did that, where are you, why, you know, what are you doing, why aren't you here? Put him to bed, he's got to go to bed, he didn't take his medicine. These cards are really stiff. Alright. It's almost like they don't want to tell me. Chris went into his room. That's where I'm getting strong. Really strong. She wasn't just there alone and he disappeared the next morning. That's not what happened. See a lot of anger. A man. He came tearing back. I was doing this. You called me back for this. I was with so-and-so. We were doing this. Alright. The Empress. Wow, Queen of Wands too. Two of Cups, we got that. Nine of Cups. The Empress. Okay. The Empress card. I'm still getting money, abundance. They didn't want him. Neither one of them did. His mother didn't want to be around him. It was about money. If we send him back to his dad, we won't get the child support. Courage, confidence, independence. The Queen of Wands. Here we go again. She wanted to be rid of him. The Two of Cups. They were in this together. They were stuck. She was afraid of him. I get she was afraid of Chris. And he wanted to be married to her, and he wanted the child support. The Knight of Cups. Moving slowly. This isn't telling me what happened. All I get at this point is Chris was very angry, had been, I think, drinking, came back. What did he do now? He's threatened to do this, he threatened to do that. Suit of Wands, the Five of Wands, fighting. When monsters fight. I believe he had an argument with Chris. Chris had an argument. Chris is Sebastian's stepdad. Legally or not, I'm not sure. They argued. I think Chris came out of the room and said something like, I'm going to tell on you. I think it's even possible that, I hate to go into this, it feels so negative. Fighting. All right, what happened to Sebastian? I almost feel like he tried to interfere with the argument. Get a lot of wands. Getting that. Alright. A few more cards. This deck is just reiterating. At this point, the cards are just telling me the same thing. Whoa. Well, that was sloppy. Alright. He came home, he argued, he was really upset, really on fire, possibly been drinking. Two of Pentacles. She tried to balance things out, but she was upset. More Pentacles. This is all about money. Wands. Victory at what cost? And the Fool. Alright. We have the Two of Pentacles. A journey into equilibrium. The two of them. Then we have the Nine of Pentacles, the Lap of Luxury. This is all about fighting about money. Money. If we send him back, we won't get the child support. And you won't get what you want. But I can't deal with it anymore. I have to do something. That's what I'm getting. Alright. The Six of Wands, Victory. He came out of his room. He came out of the room when he heard them arguing. When monsters fight. I think there was a physical altercation with the father, the stepfather. And they took a new path. I don't see the Death card here. I don't see anything like that. But the Fool, take the step. I think Chris grabbed him. I almost see him flying through the air in his room. Backwards. Flying through the air. He didn't beat him. He didn't do anything like that. But I see him picking him up and throwing him. He was 15 years old, but he wasn't a big, muscular kid. I'm not sure about Chris. I've seen a few pictures of him. He's stocky looking, but that's about all I know about him. There was a big argument. I wonder if the neighbors heard anything. I don't know how close they were to the neighbors. Or maybe the neighbors were used to hearing things. Anyway, what happened to him? What happened to Sebastian at that point? We need some information. We're not getting it because I'm almost like afraid to look at this. All right, we have, I think we're getting reversals now. How strange. Swords, swords, swords. All right. This is the ending card here. Look at that picture. He's laying on his bed. These people. I think he was thrown onto his bed by Chris. This is an ending card. This is nightmares. Could be anxiety. I think he picked him up and threw him onto his bed. Go to bed. Shut up. Stay out of this. Why don't you do what you say? Why don't you do what you're supposed to? This is when he... I almost get that he didn't die. Can I say that? I don't know. He didn't become deceased at that point. Then we have the Four of Swords. In reverse, this is, for me, this is the death card. Not always, but it can be. He didn't wake up. Here we have two pictures of two people in bed, or two cards of someone in bed. He was thrown onto the bed. It was a nightmare that he didn't wake up from. Both of these cards say that. I don't get that he was deceased at that point. Then we have the Queen of Swords. There's another horrible picture. He was unconscious, I think. There's an unconscious woman in the bathtub. I think they tried to revive him. They shook him. I don't think he was deceased at that point. But he might have technically been. That's what I'm getting. These two cards together shock me. These are two really ending cards, ending a being, but not necessarily totally gone from this earth plane. He was mortally, I want to say mortally wounded, but not physically wounded, except for, I think he hit his head. He was not conscious. He was not deceased at that point. They tried to revive him. I see, this is a person in the bathtub. They shook him. There was no response. Look at this. It's almost like the final thing. That's what I see. He was physically assaulted and thrown onto his bed, which caused him, I think, head damage, the back of his head, but it put him into almost death's door. He did not ever wake up from that. They didn't know what to do. They tried to revive him. They tried to revive him. That didn't work. They panicked. Then we have the King of Wands. Ultimate masculine energy. This is the King of Wands reverse. Here again we've gotten the King of Wands twice. Where is it? That's not it. I see hysteria. I see absolute hysteria. The mother's screaming. I don't think the neighbors heard this. I don't know if their house is right next to someone or what, or maybe they're used to it. He's absolutely gone bonkers. They tried to wake him up. They couldn't wake him up. There we have again, victory at what cost? Obey. No thoughts. There he is. He's, I want to say, like in a catatonic state. Wow, this is really difficult. All right. I don't know if there's any neighbors were interviewed. I don't know how close their neighbors are. They panicked. They tried to revive him. I get that this family card comes up really strong for me. I think they knew he wasn't going to wake up. And I can see her saying, we have to take him to the hospital. And I can see her saying, no, we can't do that. They'll put us in prison. They'll put us in prison. We can't do that. It'll be all his fault, the little blankety blank. All he's done is cause us grief. You'll go to prison. I'll go to prison. Is that what you want? I see him calling a relative. I see Chris calling a relative. Lots of relatives. He told them what happened. That's what I'm getting. Then they came up with a plan. Take the step. Look at that. It's a person walking off a cliff. Okay, at this point, I'm going to stop the reading of the cards and tell you what I saw when I was doing my meditation before this. And it's strange, and it was strange to me, but I did go on and investigate with it. All right, the cards have told us what happened, and I believe this is true. Physical altercation. He was knocked unconscious. I'm not sure he passed away, though. I don't see the death card, though I do see sort of the death card, which is a strange thing to say. Maybe a coma death card. I don't know what you would call these two cards together. Suit of Swords, and we have the 9, and we have the 4. These two cards in reverse are ending cards. They are death, but not death. So he was in a coma, I'm getting. Coma at that point. Family, someone from the family came over. Now this is where I want to stop the reading, not stop it, but pause it at this point and tell you what I saw. I saw, when I was meditating, I kept getting pictures of airplanes. Now this, you're going to think this is crazy, but hear me out. I saw an airplane with a little air wind socket thing, you know, where they have the wind directions, and then I saw a picture of an airport. Now, it wasn't a big airport, it was a small airport. I don't know that area of Tennessee at all. I'm in California. I've never been to Tennessee. But I kept seeing this building, a white building, small, fairly small, 2-story, with a flagpole and a flag. An airport. It was obviously in my mind an airport. So at that point, I looked online. I looked up the closest airport to Henderson, Tennessee, and it came up that there is an airport called the MKL Airport. It's about 20 miles from Sebastian's home. And I believe it was pointing me in the area that he was taken. Now then I still looked at the map. You can pull it up too. Look up MKL Airport in Tennessee. It's about 20 miles, give or take. But what's interesting is what's around there. Very close by is the Oak Grove Cemetery, and then there is the Cypress Grove Nature Park. So what I'm getting, what I got from what I was meditating on, is that he was taken there. Family friends were helping this, I'm going to say, dispose of him. Now I saw the two locations, they really made sense to me. Really pointed it out to me that this was the area that he was in that night. He was taken there. Now I see two areas. So what I'm getting from that, and this is pretty horrific, he could have been, can I say this word, dismembered. ID things, hands. Put one place. This is really hard to say, looking at this little kid. He had family friends doing this, helping him. I don't know if part of him was put in the cemetery or near there. This was at night. And the other part in the Grove Nature Park, Cypress Grove Nature Park. Those two areas are where he is. It could be one or the other or both. And it's really hard to say that. And the other horrible part is that, let me pull a few more cards before I say what I'm going to say. Bear with me. Like I said, I have a hard time doing those readings, but he's been bugging me. He is not of this earth plane anymore. Let's pull one more card. Judgment. Oh my gosh, look at this. Look at this. What is this a picture of? I don't know if you can see it. This is a cemetery. Judgment. Wow. Wow. If they didn't put, I almost feel like he was I don't know if I can say that. Parts taken off of him. Cemetery. The Oak Grove Cemetery is what I'm getting. And then the other part that I was drawn to strongly on the map, and you look for yourselves, pull up MKL, M like Mary King Lucy, I don't know what that stands for, airport in Tennessee. And you'll look at the map and you'll see the airport, and then you see a cemetery, and then you see the Grove Nature Park. Now, when I pulled up pictures of the Grove Nature Park, I saw dark, strange trees, almost like a swamp. And I want to say one other thing. I did get that at first he was still alive, but that stopped. At least I think it did. I'm not even sure about that. This is a hard reading for me. The fool take the step. And I get that this Chris and his family have been doing a lot of really negative things. This is not a big deal to them. They're just going to regret the loss of the money, the child support. These people this is all alleged for entertainment purposes. Two of Swords. Now, this is about truth. This is about making decisions. Will he be found? I think he might be, but I think it's going to be a while. I don't see that he will or he won't. I see it's undecided at this point. It's really hard for me to do this reading because it's so sad that no one helped him. His father tried. I don't know if he will be discovered. If he will be, it's not going to be for a while. All right, I'll look up the airport, MKL Airport in Tennessee, the Oak Grove Cemetery, and the Cypress Grove National Park. Look up the pictures and let me know what you think. This is what I'm getting. I'm going to close the circle. I want to hear your comments. I want your input about what you think happened. And thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. I really appreciate it. Please subscribe, like, share, all that stuff. And we'll see you next time. Bye.